Have you ever noticed that no matter how much your income increases, your bank balance doesn't seem to change? You get a raise, maybe land a better paying job, and for a moment it feels like things are finally improving. But then the rent gets higher, the shopping carts get fuller, the weekends get more expensive, and somehow you're still living paycheck to paycheck. You wonder, why does it feel like the more I earn, the more I lose control? The truth is, more income doesn't fix poor habits, it just gives them more fuel. Most people upgrade their lifestyle the moment they upgrade their salary, and that's exactly how they stay broke, no matter how much they make. But there's a different way, a quieter, more intentional path, and it's something the Japanese have mastered for generations. It's called Japanese Minimalism, and in today's video, I'll show you how this philosophy doesn't just declutter your home, it transforms your relationship with money, time, and freedom. Let's begin with the hidden trap most people fall into. 1. Lifestyle inflation. You get a raise. At first, it feels exciting. You start going to nicer restaurants, buy the shoes you've been eyeing, maybe even move into a better apartment. After all, you worked hard, you earned it. This is what success is supposed to look like, right? But a few months in, something feels off. Despite making more money than ever, your savings are still close to zero. You're still waiting for payday, still wondering why you feel financially stuck. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it creeps in quietly. It doesn't happen because you're irresponsible. It happens because every little upgrade feels normal. And once something becomes normal, you stop questioning it. You used to be okay with cooking at home. Now, you feel annoyed if you have to. You used to buy only what you needed. Now you treat yourself because it's been a stressful week, or just because it's Friday. And that's how your income disappears. Not through one big expense, but through dozens of tiny, unchecked ones that feel harmless. This cycle keeps repeating itself. You earn more, you spend more, you stay in the same place. But there is another way. It's quieter, more deliberate. It comes from a culture that has mastered the art of simplicity. It's called Japanese Minimalism, and it holds the key to finally breaking this cycle. 2. Japanese Minimalism. To most people, minimalism means getting rid of stuff, cleaning out your closet, owning fewer things. But in Japan, it's something else entirely. Walk into a minimalist home there, and you don't just notice what's missing, you feel what's present. Calm, clarity, control. Nothing feels crowded, nothing feels wasted. Everything that remains matters. This isn't just about aesthetics. It's a reflection of how they think about space, about time, about money. Japanese minimalists don't live with less because they have to. They live with less because they choose to. They've learned a quiet truth that many of us forget. Freedom doesn't come from having more. It comes from needing less. And the less you need, the less you have to chase. The fewer distractions you have, the more focused your life becomes. They're not cutting back to suffer. They're simplifying to feel lighter mentally and financially. While the rest of the world races toward more, they walk a different path, one that leads to something rare. Enough space, enough clarity, enough money, enough time. Japanese minimalism isn't about denying yourself. It's about redefining what matters. And when you apply that mindset to money, everything begins to shift. 3. Spend less than you earn. Spend less than you earn. It's probably the oldest financial advice in the book. But here's the strange thing. Most people hear it, nod in agreement, and completely ignore it. Not because they don't understand, but because it sounds too simple to be powerful. So they spend first, save whatever's left. And when nothing's left, which is most of the time, they tell themselves, I just need to make more. But then they do make more, and they spend more, and the pattern repeats. The Japanese approach this differently. It doesn't matter if they earn a little or a lot. They anchor themselves to a core habit. Always spend less than what comes in. It's not about restricting joy, it's about building consistency. A habit so stable that income increases don't automatically trigger lifestyle increases. They create space between what they earn and what they spend. And in that space grows peace, options, security. Because that little gap, that's where your freedom lives. The freedom to save without stress, to invest without fear, to take risks, rest, or say no without your entire life crumbling. It's a discipline that starts small, but over time it becomes the foundation of something much bigger. We often chase complex solutions, but sometimes the answer is simple, and we just need to commit to it. Spend less than you earn, always, no matter how much you make. It's not just financial advice, it's a way of life, and the beginning of lasting change. 4. Mindful spending. Most people don't plan to waste money. It just slips away. A coffee here, a late-night online order there, a subscription you forgot you had still quietly charging your card each month. You don't even notice it until you check your balance and wonder, where did it all go? But Japanese minimalists notice. They pay attention not because they're stingy, but because they're present. Every purchase is a moment of awareness. They don't ask, can I afford this? They ask, do I actually need this? Will it make my life better? Or am I just reacting to boredom, stress, or habit? This small pause makes all the difference, because money isn't just about numbers. It's about energy, emotion, attention. And when you spend without thinking, you're not just losing cash, you're losing clarity. But mindful spending flips that. It brings you back to your values. It helps you remember what truly matters. It teaches you that buying something isn't always adding something. Sometimes it's just noise, more clutter, more distraction. But when you choose carefully, when every dollar has a purpose, you don't just protect your wallet, you protect your peace. That's what Japanese minimalism is really about. Not owning the least, but owning what serves you. So the next time you reach for your card, pause, not out of guilt, but out of respect for your money, your time, and your life. 5. Quality over quantity. We live in a world where more is the default. More clothes, more tech, more upgrades. But with every new purchase, the satisfaction fades faster. And before long, you're looking for the next thing to buy. Not because you need it, but because the last thing didn't fill the gap you thought it would. Japanese minimalists move differently. They don't chase more, they choose better. Instead of 10 cheap shirts, they buy 2 that fit perfectly and last for years. Instead of grabbing the latest gadget, they wait and only invest in what truly improves their life. This isn't about luxury, it's about intention, because cheap doesn't always mean affordable. Not if it breaks, wears out, or needs replacing every few months. And more doesn't mean better. Not if it adds clutter, confusion, or stress. The Japanese understand that quality pays you back, not just in durability, but in peace of mind. When you surround yourself with well-made, purposeful things, you stop constantly needing new. You feel content, grounded, focused. And there's beauty in that. You spend less time shopping, less time maintaining, less time replacing, and more time living. So next time you're tempted by the cheaper, faster, easier option, ask yourself, will this still matter to me in a year? Or will it end up in the back of a drawer, forgotten? Because sometimes owning less, but better, isn't just smarter financially. It's a way of saying, my life deserves things that last. 6. Multiple income streams. Most people live on one income, one paycheck, one stream that supports everything: rent, food bills, dreams. And when that stream slows down, panic sets in because there's no backup, no cushion, no plan B. But in Japan, especially among those who follow a minimalist mindset, there's a quiet understanding. Dependence is risk. Diversity is safety. They don't wait for disaster to start thinking about it. They build small, steady streams on the side, not to get rich quick, but to feel secure. A hobby becomes a side hustle. An old skill becomes freelance work. A small investment grows over time. It's rarely flashy, but it's real. And more importantly, it's intentional. They're not working themselves to exhaustion. They're building stability with calm, thoughtful action. Because even a little extra income can change everything. It gives you options. It relieves pressure. It lets you save without struggle, walk away from what no longer serves you. And it reconnects you to something deeper, your own resourcefulness. You start seeing that what you know, what you love, and what you're curious about can all become part of your financial life. You stop feeling trapped by one path. You realize you can design your own. So instead of asking, how do I earn more? Ask, what do I already have that I could share, sell, or grow? Because sometimes true freedom isn't in having more money. It's in knowing it can come from more than one place. 7. Time over money. You can always make more money, but time, once it's gone, it's gone. We don't often think about it that way. We trade hours for paychecks. We work late to afford things we barely use. We say yes to more overtime, more projects, more hustle, believing that one day it will all be worth it. But Japanese minimalists ask a different question. What if it already could be? What if the goal wasn't to earn endlessly, but to need less so you could live more? In Japan, there's a quiet respect for time, for pauses, for presence, for peace. It's not about being lazy. It's about recognizing that money isn't the only currency. Time is wealth, attention is wealth, energy is wealth. They spend money carefully, not just to save, but to protect their time. Because when you're not drowning in bills, not tied to constant upgrades, not chasing things that don't matter, you suddenly have space to think, to breathe, to spend a slow afternoon with someone you love. And in that space, life becomes rich in a different way. Not richer in stuff, but richer in meaning. We often chase money, thinking it will give us more time later. But Japanese minimalists flip the script. They buy back their time now, by needing less, choosing wisely, and valuing stillness. Because in the end, no one looks back and wishes they'd bought more. They wish they'd lived more, loved more, been more present, and that kind of wealth you can start building today. So now you know. It's not your income that's holding you back. It's the quiet habits, the unconscious choices that decide whether you build wealth or stay stuck. The Japanese don't live simply to look aesthetic. They do it to live better, freer, and more intentionally. They understand that true wealth isn't just about money. It's about control, clarity, and peace of mind. Every small decision you make adds up. That coffee you didn't need, that gadget you bought on impulse, or the habit you changed that finally gave you space to breathe. Spend less than you earn. Buy less, but better. Create more than one income. Value your time. Live with intention. Japanese minimalism teaches us that financial freedom doesn't require luck or a lottery win. It starts with small, daily choices made with clarity and purpose. So ask yourself, what's one habit you'll start today? Leave a comment below. And if this message resonated with you, give it a like and share it with someone who needs it. We're not here just to survive. We're here to live simply, intentionally, and freely.